2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, nice move. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Run past the 30-yard line there. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
2nd and 1. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from Adrian Claiborne off the edge. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field.
Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
Ready. Got a wolf. Yeah, right there. 54 miles.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up first and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now it's Ryan. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Now the return will stop right around the 25. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Jacobs. Oh, he bowls over him. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Here's Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Bring it. Check. Go. 58, boys, 58. 58, it's Mike. Check.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Returnable for Thomas. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you... seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's two schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Markel Lee. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
It's now third down.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check the backer. Check the backer.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
Let's go. Do it. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And Thomas has it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's first rush coming, and he's taken down.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
It's a gain of 4, and it's third down.
Check line 54. Line 54.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Falcons, 0.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Back to throw here. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 32 on the play. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jacobs. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Here's Jacobs from the gun, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Carlson able to put this one through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee. And then it's the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, 59, ready? 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. You better wait for that.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Got it. 58's the Mike. 58's the Mike. Here we go. Bravo. 58, right over there. Yeah.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. It's caught. Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
You can't block me.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Ready to go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 41, Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down.
Hey, check. Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Hey, exit. Ricky.
They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Right there, 56.
50-yard
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 50.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points. They got his man complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
20.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And that is going to be incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, as the first half is winding down, as his guys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how it... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Ryan to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 62 yards. And to give this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd down. Ryan. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Barely got the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. He'll drop to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They'll set up a throw, and that's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Jonathan Abram picks it and shoves him off at the 20. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Jacobs now. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Oh, he knocks him over. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Maurice Hurst. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event,
and he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running the toss here to Jacobs. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That really sets them back. A loss of 6. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gapped.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Adrian Claiborne able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
On 3rd down, Jacobs. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And he fields it cleanly. 31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
He'll look to throw. Complete to Jones. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
But it leads to 4th down.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll try and run for it. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Atlanta. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And the Raiders have got him. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jonathan Hankins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They're going to look to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Raiders on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Check 53 is my check. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go. He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Jam, 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 jam. Right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Raiders on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Falcons grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Ready. Mike 55, Mike 55. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch twist. Watch twist.
On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles. What does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Right back to Brown. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is not going to get the first down as he'll spot this at about the 28. It'll be a gain of 2. And speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. This is taken at the 15. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now third and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long.
Target.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Thomas. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. On the NFL scoreboard there in the fourth now in Carson. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far.
Kaiser on the field.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Oakland, They're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile,